Grace Latoya Hamilton, known professionally as Spice, is the queen of the dancehall, CEO of Graci, Noir, entrepreneur, and love and hip hop Atlanta star. In 2019, she received the MTV Movie and TV Award for her role in the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta show. She has collaborated with the likes of Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, Shaggy, Sean Paul, Vibes Cartel, Sean Kingston, Maya, and countless others. Spice created history as the first artist alive in her genre to peak 1 million Instagram followers. Today, we journey with Spice on the road to success. Spice, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Boy, I tell you, it was worth the wait. I know we tried off right in May, but nothing before the time.
Definitely. Yeah.
And thank you so much too for taking time out of your busy schedule. We know you had Good Morning Britain and they are some 6 hours ahead, so it cannot be
Never
easy.
wake up from 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh, we really appreciate it. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having me as well. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to me. You know, I have to always represent for Jamaica anyway.
Don't it? And you're looking fab in your grassy noir. The red, it works.
Thank
It
you.
pops with the blue
Thank you. I mean,
here.
if I have on glasses because I woke up, I did Good Morning Britain at 2 a.m., went back to bed, wake up at 6 a.m. So I didn't have time to get glam. So that's why I put my shades and my hat. I'm like, oh my God, I'm up and put on something.
Look here, skin still popping. You woke up like this. Hello.
Yes.
So, Spice, let's just begin with the foundation. And I want to start with a popular Spice quote. Them see the glory, but them don't know the story. Take us to the genesis of your story, where you were born and raised, and how would you describe your upbringing?
I come from humble beginnings. I was born and raised in a community in Portmore called Old Brayton, Cresta Lane. Um, I remember when I was 9 years old, my father died, leaving, my siblings and I, five of us, with my mom. When my father died and my mother passed out and rushed to the hospital, that's when she found out she was pregnant with my younger sister. So it was a horrific memory for me, you know. I've been taking care of myself since as far as I can remember. Just that story, my father was the breadwinner. My mother couldn't find for all of us. And so when I remember when I was going to Brayton Junior High, because of absence and stuff like that, they did not want me to do GSAT at the time. Oftentimes my mother couldn't find like lunch money to give me to go to school. I had one uniform, so sometimes if I washed the uniform, it wouldn't dry for the next day, so I made me school. But I was so confident in myself. I remember begging them for me to do that GSAT test, and they was like, "No, you're not ready yet." And I was like, "I'm telling you, I can do it. I study when I don't come to school." And they gave me the opportunity, and that's how I passed with flying colors, and I passed for St. Catherine High School. So I'm a past student at the St. Catherine High School. And even going to high school, I used to walk to school. My mother moved to Spanish Town, so we were living in Windsor Road for a short period of time. And I came home one day from Windsor Road, and my house was gone. I lost my house to fire. And so even now, I tell people all the time, I was once homeless. So sometimes I'm on Instagram and I'm like, I left from homeless to owning houses. I used to believe in myself so much when I was younger. I used to plan everything that I'm living right now. I tell people I'm living my dreams because even walking to school, I used to DJ when they teach me the lyrics. I used to DJ the lyrics, and that's how Spice was born. When I was at St. Catherine High School, I used to lead the choir. Sometimes you see people under my comments saying choir, because I used to lead the choir in Pascal Hall. I used to enter JCBC festivals for my school. I was always in performing arts. So if you notice like my performances and stage entrances, I've been doing that since I was a child. And that's where Spice was born. When I left St. Catherine High School, a friend of mine introduced me to Evie D. Junior Fraser, who is like the promoter for Sting. So big up Evie D and Leng. And they gave me the opportunity to perform at Sting when I was about 14 or 15 years old, I think. And that's where Spice was born, on Sting stage in Jamaica. And I think that was maybe 1999 or something like that. as far back as I
Wow.
can remember. That's just in a nutshell of where.
In a nutshell. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
But
just in a nutshell.
Spice, you know, some people will say like circumstances don't make me who I am, or you know, you did not allow your circumstances to define who you are. As a young child, experiencing and seeing the roughness of life and seeing your mom having to struggle that way, losing your dad who was the main breadwinner, what did you say to yourself as a youngster that motivated you and kept you going and reaching for the stars?
I just used to tell myself that I have to make it. I have to. The struggles and stuff that I was facing at the time. I'm so sorry. Did you hear me? The
Yeah,
struggles
man.
and stuff that I was facing at the time, it was so unbearable that they motivated me to want better. So even at times when I have to go to bed without food, I'm like, no, there is better out there. I have to, you know, I have to become something great. And I was so eager to just, you know, launch out of that situation. So I tell people all the time that my past motivates me. And as a mother myself, I have 2 kids, as you know. I never want them to go through what I went through. So that's also a motivation for me, because I continue to work hard so that they will never be able to face what I faced as a child. And so I just used to promise myself. My father is a fan of Professor Nuts. And so before he died, because he died when I was only 9, before he died, he used to play Professor Nuts song in the house, and he used to say, sing this, my daughter. And I used to sing it word for word. And he used to boast and say, you're going to become a star, my daughter, a star. And I remember how he used to ride with me in Portmore and tell me to sing for his friends or DJ for his friends. And he used to boast about me so much and say, I'm a star, my daughter gonna become a star.
Yeah.
That when he died, I took that with me. It never left me. So my father was a Rasta man. He used to love Bob Marley and Professor Nuts. And I used to sing all of the song them. And I don't know what he saw in me, but since I was a child, he used to tell me that, yeah, you're going to become a big star. And when he died, I just took that with me.
Wow. You know, Spice, you did say you're condensing it a bit, and I want people to know that you also formally attended the Edna Manley College of Visual and Performing Arts. How despite your dream of becoming an accountant, how talk to us about how that period of your life helped to groom and help the performer that you are today?
So like I said, I used to do a lot of JCDC festivals when I was going to St. Catherine High School, and I used to be the leader for the choir. So I become famous within St. Catherine High School because I used to DJ and perform, and I'm always doing extremely great. So people used to encourage me and say, no, man, you have to go Edna Manley. And at the time, I didn't even know what it was. And so I left St. Catherine and did Edna Manley based on how people used to praise the way I act, the way I sing, the way I dance and everything. And that's what kind of propelled me to go to Edna Manley. But during the process of being in St. Catherine High School, I wanted to become a chartered accountant. And I'm also so extremely happy that I was doing like the accounting subjects, mathematics
POB,
and all of that. I
yeah.
was so good at it. Because right now, Ray Alexander, who's my booking agent for the past 10 years, he collects all my money. And he will sometimes, you know, pay up my bills or do whatever. Like I would say, okay, Ray, do this, send this to my mother, do this for me, do that for me. But when me come back at Jamaica, Kshema, if I want
balance the books.
we know that the 1 cent for them.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that I was, you know, doing a bit, you know, the accounting subjects and stuff like that. But all of that has helped to mold and shape me into the person that I am today. So yes, I did St. Catherine High School, and I also did Edna Manley College, and all of that has helped me so much.
No, you mentioned earlier that, you know, you got your break on Sting Stage in 1999, but it wasn't until around 2000 that you got your big break with Fight Over Man, produced by Dave Kelly. Take us back to this defining moment in your music career.
So when I went to Sting Stage in 1999 and I bust the crowd, I got called back like 4 to 5 times. That's where Spice was born. I used to go around and DJ. There's some videos going around on the internet when I was pretty young, little slim, when Ninja Man calling me on the stage or a bounty killer, and people post them and it was like, look at Spice. But at those time before 2003, I used to find every single stage show that was keeping in Jamaica. And it doesn't matter how far it them. I would have got Ocho Rios, would have got Montego Bay, anywhere I see something I keep when I can reach, I would go to display my talent in order to make it big or to bust out. So funny enough, people used to book me for stage shows before I have a hit song. So I was touring, I was going to America on performances because of my adaptability to perform so very well on stage. Because everywhere I go on stage, I used to bust the crowd and mash up the place that everybody was talking about Spice. So it wasn't until like 2003 where I was on tour in England with Baby Sham, Ward 21. And I was the only one there on tour and I was mashing up the tour. I never have a 45 record. I never have a hit song. I never record no song. I used to just spit live lyrics on stage and mash up the place. And people was booking me to perform because I used to do so great on stage. So Baby Sham said to me, say, oh, you perform, on a tour, have a 45. And I'm like, I don't know. Me just like, go on, do it until me make it. And I said, I never had the opportunity to go to studio to record nothing. And he must say, really? And you're bad, so? And Baby Sham said to me, I'm going to introduce you to Dave Kelly. You have to meet Dave Kelly and, record a song. And I was, at the time, I know Dave Kelly's name was so big. And of course, Baby Sham was at his peak. So I was super excited. And I was on the tour in England. And Baby Sham said, as soon as we get off the tour, I'm going to introduce you to Dave Kelly. And when we came back to Jamaica, he introduced me to Dave Kelly. And he recorded Fight Over Man. And within a couple of days, I hear it all over the radio. And I was like, oh, it's so easy. But I don't think it was so easy. It was because of everything that I've done and built up to that moment why Dave Kelly kind of believed in me and Baby Sham. So I didn't take all the rest of the years where I was struggling for granted, because that built me in such a great artist and stage performer. So I'm happy I never get it easy. But yeah, Fight Over Man came 2003, and that's just where everything started for me. I never look back.
But Spice, sometimes when we hear the stories, especially from females, like you hear, the horror stories as it relates to coming up in the entertainment industry and some of the challenges and the struggles. Speak a little bit as it relates to how was that experience for you? Was it really rough and gritty, or you sort of found yourself around good people who assisted you along the way?
I wouldn't say I find myself with good people, but the stories that other females share about men and horrific things that they go through and whatever. I always tell them that I've never experienced that, because I tell them all the time, when you laugh and lower your guard, then people come and ready to take advantage of you. When I used to go to studio, I was the only female there, pure male and ray. But me not go laughy. Me not wearing a shorts for studio. Me just go do my work, and if somebody says something out of place, the way me face them, put them in a place, them no say, here one, no, but I pass a place with Spice. So I'm always that focused woman who normally get just respect, because people just know said Spice, she bad, and she's about her work. And Jada and I was having a discussion the other day about the same topic, and she was expressing like things that she went through. But I expressed to her, where I feel that what she did from what, I tell her that people just mark you for who you are. So you have to just focus, make them know say you depend that. No laughy. If you laughy, you gigi, man, I've already, I know say, okay, she gonna take a laugh. But if them know you're not take the laugh, them just say you're not take the laugh. So I've never had a certain experience that female I've spoke about. I'm always about my business. I'm always just getting respect. Even the relationship that I have with Vibes Cartel, I used to go to studio with him all the time. And them always I say, one thing with Muma, you know, she know the laughing, a song me come for Vice. So he has gained such respect for me, I guess, because he saw the difference with me and other female. Him just know say, I just come a studio, me I write. And if him say, sure, me I get ready for the show, and I'm focused on just my business. So
and as you mentioned, Vibes Cartel Spice, Rompin' Shop collab with Cartel. Of course, it gave you your international debut, hitting the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 2008. But your musical bond with Vibes Cartel goes beyond Rompin' Shop, like you mentioned. Talk to us about that.
So like I said, at studio with Vibes Cartel, even before, you know, Ramping Shop, Vibes Cartel and I, we both come from Portmore. So before he became the Vibes Cartel that we know today, we both was doing the same thing, searching for stage show in order to go out there, or for bus, as you may call it. So we used to click up bad artists from Portmore. If a taxi, we have to rent or take taxi, and we have got towards the show so we can display our talent. So I know Vibes Cartel before he became popular and famous. I remember one time there was a show in, I think it was Runaway Bay or somewhere, and the taxi full. And me, I tell them I'm the only female, little bit, but me I tell them, say, "Una nah left me." Me no respond, so me Una nah left me. So I sit on Vibes Cartel lap and drive all the way to country. We got DJ. We got DJ. But he was always so respectful. I tell the Vibes Cartel that I know, I wish that everybody could have get a chance to meet that person that I know. Always laughing, always happy, full of vibes, just a natural, you know, happy person. And him always look out for me. And I just never forget those days. So like even now when the two are big, our boss and me keep on and represent for him and I call him name when I travel worldwide. People don't understand it, but I just never forget where I'm coming from. So despite everything that happened now where them want to say about him, I know what he has done for me. So I have to show my appreciation and my loyalty, because I know the struggles and where we came from as an artist coming up in the business. So I just have a lot of love and respect for him based on where we came from.
Now, in your song Like a Man, right, you creatively denounce the double standard of the male-dominated music industry. Were you personally frustrated at this point when you voiced that track?
Frustrated could be a word, because at the end of the day, I remember days when I used to go to stage show and male artists never wanted to perform after me. And they didn't want to perform after me because they know say when me go up on the stage or mash up the stage, that it is a rap, never left them in a one big hole. So for me, I used to feel like I wasn't getting the respect that I deserve, and I knew that it was because it's a male-dominated business or because that I'm a woman. But I know enough male artists who can't deliver like Spice. And so I was like, that's how I creatively did that Like a Man song. When I say, all right, let me take off my wig now and put on a big pants and put on a mouth that for say, this double standards, is this what you need to give me my respect? Because not because I'm a female, you're not giving me the respect where you're a male artist, when enough people know that the male artist is not bad like Spice. So that's how that whole creative song came about. But I could say definitely it was frustration, because coming up in the business is hard to know that as a woman you go through so much, you do so much. When it comes to some festival, I put on so many, you know, great performances, stage entrances. I do so much for the genre itself and to entertain people, but like yet still they never want to give me the respect that I know that I deserve.
Do you find out, because you know sometimes you have to be so hardcore, and when you're doing your thing and you're competing, I know you definitely don't think about competing or trying to outshine your fellow female entertainers, but just to be on top, you have to outshine everybody. Do you find that because you always have to have this hardcore exterior, you sometimes say to us that Spice and Graci are two different people? How has the industry and being a part of it hardened Spice a bit in terms of how you sometimes communicate?
The industry have hardened me in ways where I would probably go to a dancehall space and them just play bare male songs from the, you know, and stand up in the party and I say, no man, all night I'm gonna hear one female song. And
Mm-hmm.
I used to be that one where we have to brave up and go to the selector and take all the mic and say, pull up. Woman in the dance. Make we hear some girl song and talk the things them and I request my song. So it has the industry has hardened me in so many ways. I explain to people all the time that the industry has created a different persona. Because even sometimes when I perform on stage and the way I go on and the behavior that I display, when I come off and I watch it back, I'm looking like, who is that person? And I mean that. And even my siblings talk about it all the time. How with the grace that they know. I'm just always a happy person, always laughing, giving joke, just very humble and, you know, just like a sweetheart at home. But when I go on stage and I get that mic and I metamorphosize into this character, people is like, no man, it's like a totally different person. But the business does that. It hardens you. You have to be hard to be in dancehall. You have to build feet.
No, you kind of alluded to it a bit, whether it is on stage, a music video, or the announcement of a new song, you think outside the box, which always spark a conversation, ongoing conversation, sometimes for days. How do you deal with public criticism and scrutiny?
As an artist, you have to build for public scrutiny, criticism. So I think I'm built for it. So it don't really affect me because I realize that as a public figure, you're going to always get public opinions. So you have to definitely prepare for that. You can't change that and you will never be able to change that. So when it comes, I'm already prepared for it. So when I'm doing a project, I know that not everybody will like it. Some people are going to say yes, some people are going to say no, some people might maybe, some people. So you have to prepare for that. So how I deal with it, I don't really take no mind. I make glimpse through comments sometimes, but I don't make it my practice to, you know, if Kshema posts something, let me go read what they must say about me, you know, so it don't affect me. You just have to realize that people have their opinions
and
about
will
you,
express it.
and you can't change that. So I don't really pay comments and stuff, don't mind. I am always focused on what I need to get out there, and I do that regardless.
No, I have to tell you, you are a marketing genius.
22, 21. Can you hear me? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You're definitely...
One moment.
All right. If you're just joining us, we're talking to Spice, Queen of the Dancehall, and it's all about Road to Success, the journey. And it is indeed a fantastic journey. It's okay. We know things happen. It's live radio. It's show business. So, you know, we'll just roll with the punches. Now, like I was saying, Spice, you are a marketing genius. You know exactly what to do when you want the world to stop and look and listen. Now, how did you successfully execute the Black Hypocrisy PR stunt without leaking it? And what did you learn about public opinion in that instance as well?
I think that was one of the hardest moments for me, to be honest, because the things to get it to come to life, it was so detailed and intricate. And I remember when I did the white face, I was in Jamaica and I needed to come to America, but I couldn't travel like that because I'm like, oh, they're not gonna let me through immigration. So I had to be fully masked up and covered. It was, oh my God, Kshema, that was one of the hardest times in my life. But I did it because I felt it was needed at the time. As a Black woman with a Black daughter, the way how I saw social media going and Black women tearing down each other, degrading each other, the comments was getting horrible, and every day you go, you just see people just dragging and tearing each other. I myself experienced colorism where people, even from Jamaica, was saying, no man, our Spice rich and our Spice have so much money and she now bleach and turn up herself. So when they use that word, I'm like, okay, so because I'm successful and I'm rich, I need to bleach my skin like everybody else, because it was a big trend. Everybody was changing their complexion. And they tell themselves that when you bleach, you're hot and you're hype. So I felt at the time like, okay, I need to stop this so that other dark-skinned Black women can know and love and appreciate themselves, because I saw society doing something where it was making you feel that you had to bleach to become successful. I had a huge platform and I just sat down creatively and put thoughts into it. And I said, this is what I wanted to do. When I come up with this message, I need every single person in the world to hear this message. So I wanted to have the world's undivided attention. I wanted to shock the world and have their attention when I'm displaying, delivering this message. And so, of course, everybody know me, extreme. Everything what we do always over the top. So I had to do drastic measures to create awareness for colorism. So I never wanted to physically bleach myself or my skin. So I came up with the idea to use makeup to make my appearance seem lighter. So I can say to the world, is this how you want me to look? You know, so because society was making it feel like, listen, if you don't bleach, you know, turn up or whatever. And surprisingly, when the picture came out at the time, people was going crazy over that, the look of the picture. So, and that is why I called it Black hypocrisy, because I feel like Black people, we are so hypocritical among each other that we don't even realize it. And let's talk about even with the perming of the hair. If you notice, sometimes when dark girls wear their natural hair, people will come up to you and say, no, man, you have to perm your ear, man. When you cream out your ear, when you have this, and it's like they wanted to take the nappy out of the hair to appreciate, you know, your whole appearance. So I just came up with that idea to create awareness of colorism, like I said, because I myself was experiencing it. And I just hated the fact how Black people was degraded and tearing down each other at the time. And I did get, you know, the world's undivided attention with Black hypocrisy. So I was happy with that awareness that I created.
You absolutely did it. So you had to wash off your makeup to go through the airport, though.
Listen,
you not tell me that, you know.
The makeup takes 4 to 5 hours to apply. That's a number one. So I had to sit down for 4 hours each time I did it, because I did it more than one time. So yeah, I had to sit down for 4 hours in order to achieve that look. That was my way of protesting. That was the modern way of protesting. So, you know, back in the days, people get them placard and them march. Well, I use my own physical body as a protest.
Look, I said it already, and I've said it on many spaces across Irie FM on various platforms. You are a marketing genius, and we're gonna be talking so much more after this cash pot break. We're gonna be talking about Graci Noir. We're gonna be talking about Godongde, that is creating waves, and so much more. If you're just joining us, we're on the road to success, the journey. We're journeying with Spice. Now, how does an international dancehall artist become a reality TV star on Love and Hip Hop? And how were you recruited, and what were your initial thoughts? And did you know you could appeal to an American audience?
So to be honest, when I did the Love and Hip Hop franchise, I wanted the American world to put a face to the songs, because I think a lot of people, when I entered, they was like, Spice done big already, she no need to go up on Love and Hip Hop. But I don't think people realize that there's so many more room for us to grow. And even when I went on it, there was still people here in America who didn't know who the Spice brand was, and now they're able to put a face to the name. You know, when the show came to Jamaica, I think they were episode 7 or 6. You know, when Mona Scott reached out to Stacey Trong, you know, she was like, you know, Love and Hip Hop coming to Jamaica, we'd love Spice to show them around the island, and they came. And that's where I got the idea to say, oh, this is something I could do, you know, to get more internationally known. A lot of people sometimes may collab with other artists, but I wanted people to get to know Spice and get my personality. And I saw the opportunity, and I auditioned just like anyone else, shared my story, and, you know, they fell in love with the fact that, you know, musically, I wanted to come to America and to become, you know, more internationally known. And that's where it started for me. And I just, you know, took the opportunity, made the sacrifice, and
Look
Anything
at
to
you
propel
now.
my career, I'm always open.
Now, the awareness of cultural diversity is important to break barriers and, attain success in general. Can you recall doing or saying anything on the show in general that was taken out of context due to personal differences?
Definitely. I mean, my first cultural difference was my experience with Tokyo when people were saying, "Oh, Spice a body shame
Tokyo.
Tokyo," and the people here in America, they took so much offense to it. But I told them, I said, "Listen, where I come from in Jamaica, we call people by their characteristic. If somebody sells juice, we call him juicy. If somebody have one hand or one foot, we call him one. If somebody is short, we call him short man. If somebody, so it's like we don't really take things as personal. We can run joke about anything, tell us say a maga and it know whatever. But here they take offense to every little thing. You can't really, make joke over people's, I guess,
Image.
characteristic.
Yeah, yeah.
But where we come from, we run joke and me tell my sister every day, said, no man, you get fat man. And
Fat
it's
and
not
look
offensive.
good. Exactly.
But you can't do it here, people take offense to it. So that's one thing that I had to learn when I came here. And I would definitely say that was an experience for me.
Now, you were on the front line of the Black Lives Matter movement. We got a glimpse of you through your social media posts. Have you ever experienced racism? I know you mentioned classism, of course, but have you ever personally experienced racism?
All the time, worldwide, everywhere. And just recently, maybe a few months ago, I was traveling and I guess most of the people in the first class line, as they call it, was Caucasian. And I went into the line with my luggage for first class. And the Caucasian lady looked at me and she said, this is first class. Or did she say, oh, you first class? And I took offense to it because at the end of the day, it's not like she was working with Delta. She's just a traveler, just like myself. And I'm not sure why she found the need or found it fit to pick me out of everyone else that was traveling to ask if I realize that this is first class. So me just say, look, when I say, lady, me can't read. Me can't read here. I see the big first class up there. The same way like how you there, so me, sister, I some for that too. So me just get ignorant because they say, why she pick me out of the ask me show me the right line? Like, so, and because I have that experience so many times with Caucasians or people on the natural, me just always have to snap alert there, and that's just one experience. But there's so many others, when you go into store of
high-end brands
or a big brand, a high-end brand, because if your color, they feel like you can't afford it. They immediately pick on you. They immediately walk behind you. They immediately feel like you are comfy because of you. I've just experienced it so many times that when I see it and I pick it up, I just address it and nip it in the bud immediately. But of course, I've experienced racism a lot of times. Speaking about the marching, with the George Floyd situation, and when I was over here marching, there was people in Jamaica who was commenting and they were saying, but Spice live at Jamaica, why she a march of America, why should, and I don't think people realize that I work here in America, and if I go outside and I should experience racism or police brutality, they're not going to ask me where I come from before they do it to me. They're not going to say, oh, she come from Jamaica. All they see when they look at you is your complexion. They see black. So it doesn't matter where you come from. You can travel from Jamaica, come to America and lose your life because you're black. So when we march for the race, it's not because it doesn't matter where you come from. It's for your race, and we are all black people. I have a black son, so I am obligated to voice my opinion for the race, and it doesn't matter where you come from, like I said. So I think people need to realize that black is just black.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
Point
think they
blank.
realize that. Yeah.
Facts. Now, you have also forged friendships with some influential Black successful female entrepreneurs, Rashida and so many others who are celebrities in their own rights. What do you most admire about these ladies' transition from music to entrepreneurship, or even how to balance both?
Say, for example, Rashida, she's a black entrepreneur, a businesswoman. She has different, businesses and different franchises. Just the other day, I went and celebrated with her for opening her second location for press. I'm just all for women empowerment and women that believing in making it no matter how or what the circumstances is. So you don't have to limit yourself. And I like when a woman don't want to limit herself and want to go out there and be a boss. Rashida called herself the boss chick, and I like that. That inspires me. Because I think in today's society, a lot of women believe that they need to find a rich, successful man in order to elevate or to make it. But I always say, I don't want a rich husband. I want to be a rich wife. So that's my way of thinking. I want to make it for myself. I want to have my own. I believe in having my own. Me no want to find a man who come elevate me. And when the man left, he take back the car and he take back the house and he take back the clothes and he take back the things. I want my own. So I believe in black women who believe in themselves, who's chasing their dreams, any means necessary. And I love to see, the entrepreneurship. I just love it. I love to see women who's just embracing their power and just making it big time.
And with that said, you are making it big time and just doing it. And I really appreciate how you're not putting yourself in a box, because in 2014, you made your film debut in Destiny. Are movies something that you think you would dig deeper in?
It's my dream to meet Tyler Perry.
Okay.
And I feel like when I meet Tyler Perry, I would. Huh?
It is not impossible being in Atlanta.
I know, right? Because he's here in Atlanta. But it's my dream to meet Tyler Perry. And I feel like I would definitely want to do my own movie one day. So it's something that I love. Like I said, I used to do it since I was a child. I was acting, doing the drama, the this, the that. So I really love that. So definitely I would see myself, dabbling into movies one day.
Wow. But let's talk about Spice, the businesses of Spice. Now, Spice, the visionary, the entrepreneur, and your businesses. Spicy Salon, 8 Ball, Sports, Bar and Lounge, Faces and Laces, a line of wigs and cosmetic products, Spicy Couture, Graci Noir. What do you think is the biggest misconception about creating wealth?
That you have to do one at a time. I think that's a big conception. People feel like you just have to focus on one thing. But my vision towards it is one cocoa-full basket. And I read somewhere where you have to have 7 different income in order to be considered stable in life. I don't know how true it is, but I believe in the higher you go is the more mouth you have to feed, is the more bills you have to pay, is the more people looking towards you. And so the more income you have is the more stable you will be, because you can't just take out from, your earnings. You always have to have something coming in. And because I have I'm like a support system to so many different family and whatever, I just like to have different incomes coming in. And I just believe in businesses. It's not just now I've been doing it for years. I used to do it when I was a child. I used to sell sweetie when I was going to school in order to find money. I used to sell chicken foot with my mother in order to buy food. So I have always been into business. It's funny how you spoke about Spicy Couture, because I used to be an entrepreneur. Like before all this stardom, I used to have Spicy Couture, a franchise in Jamaica. I used to have a store in Mall Plaza in Halfway Tree, Spicy Couture. I used to have a store in May Pen, Spicy Couture in the heart of May Pen. I used to have a store in Montego Bay, Spicy Couture. So I have been in this type of business for years, And I decided I was going to continue with Spicy Couture, but I wanted something new. I wanted to change the name. I fell in love with Noir because it means black. And I just went ahead and used, my own personal name. I changed the I to E, Grace to Graci. And I just wanted to start fresh, but I've always been doing being an entrepreneur for years.
So I guess it's no brainer how we see that transition from Spicy Couture into Graci Noir. How do you feel about your brand, and are your fans and people in general, what is the response? Are they receptive to what you're putting out on the market?
The brand makes me frustrated sometimes because the way every minute it sells out. And I can't keep track of it. I have to keep ordering. And then they complain that I can't get my size. Every time I come on the website, it's sold out. I can't keep up sometimes, It's been doing extremely well. It's been supported. My fans love it. Like I said, I can't keep inventory on the website. People have been supporting me, and I'm just happy and humbled and grateful. And the brand has been doing extremely well.
And know that you're doing more. Do you have like a full team? I know you have gotten to where you are, without a management structure, but just having that hunger for success. But know that, you're flourishing, you're growing. The Spice brand, it has diversified. Are you contemplating having a team, or do you already have one in place?
I already have one in place. Big up to my management team. King, of course, I have to big up King George. I have to big up Stacia Mack, my management team. Ray Alexander, who's always been a part of my team. Shaniqua, Adrian, big up Adrian Brown, somebody who I tell myself I can't live without. I definitely have been putting a great team together. And I'm just happy to have people around me that I love and appreciate.
Speaking about people around you that you love and appreciate, we see how you feel about your children, and nothing when we see Graci oozing with joy and excitement when you're around Nicholas and Latoya. What is the best part about being mommy?
The best part about being mommy is caring for them, being able to give them what they want or whatever their hearts desire. It's a passion for me. It's something that I tell myself that I always wanted to be in the position to be able to give them, because I know what it feels like to be in a needs and wants and can't get certain things. So when they come to me and they say, "Mommy, I want this," or "Mommy," and I'm able to give them, it makes me happy. It brings joy to my soul. I like just being around them. And kill me with trouble, but may I tell you, whenever I travel and I come home and I can just hug them, they say me annoy them, but I hug them and kiss them and shower them with love. And that's just one of the best parts about being a mother. I enjoy being around them. They soothe my soul.
And that is just really, really awesome, because with your career, you are so busy, you travel a lot, but then at the same time, it is imperative that, you find time with your children, because men and women starting a family have two different paths. What are some of the challenges you experience as a mom, having to balance this huge career that is taking off and continues to grow, and at the same time, so too are your children, and it's just a delicate balance?
The challenges that I've had balancing is, for years, it has just been me as a single mother. And so there were times when I had to make decisions, like if there's parents-teacher meeting and sports day and important activities or important things at school that I would never miss. Sometimes there's a show that was booked. I have a contractual agreement already months in advance, and then it happened to be on the same day. But because I'm a single parent, there's not the other half to be there for them. So it's like sometimes I have to say, "No, man, Ray, change this date," or talk to them, tell them, like that has been the most difficult thing for me, because I never wanted my child to feel neglected in any way. I never wanted there to be a parents-teacher meeting and nobody is there for them. And then they're looking around and other kids' parents are there. So as a single mom, that has been extremely difficult for me over the years. And it's just one of the hardest tasks I've had to deal with. But funny enough, I've managed to do it on my own. Never miss parents teacher meeting, never miss sports day. Sports day, me did my mouth at the loudest. Everybody. So I've managed to, overcome it. It was a lot of time. I feel like it was a miracle, but I did it, and I'm happy. I'm super grateful. And no, I also have a father figure in their life, big up to Justin. He's doing an extremely great job with them. So I can't complain. I'm now happy and I feel completed.
Girl, happy over there. We see you. We see you. But in 2018, you launched the Graci Hamilton Women Empowerment Foundation, which aims to enrich, women through business and entrepreneurship. How important is service to Spice and giving back?
Like I tell you, my humble beginnings that I came from, now that I've reached a peak in my career, I remember days when I wish that somebody could have been there for me. I tell you how I used to go to school without nothing, one uniform, one shoes, no lunch money, walk to school. I've done it all. And there was never nobody to be there for me. And even though I had such great talent and was able to become an artist, I feel like if I did not have the talent, I would have had a setback in pursuing my dreams. And so I wanted to start a foundation for women out there who was in need, because I'm in the position to give back and to help. So I did the foundation, Graci Hamilton Women Empowerment Foundation, to enrich women through education and entrepreneurship. And I did both because while I believe that education is the key to success or to have a successful future, not everybody was born or built to become a lawyer, doctor, certain things like that. So I wanted also to give women who didn't have the chance to become a lawyer or a doctor, to encourage them to start their own businesses, become an entrepreneur, still believe in themselves. So that's basically what I did. And when I started in 2018, the first sponsorship I did was I gave a young lady $300,000 to go to college because she was not able to afford it. And when she sent me back those letters, and she said, because people used to write into the foundation, and her story had touched me so much. She has been through so much. And I told her, I said, I'm going to send you to college. And she never believed it. And when I sponsor her and she went to college, and I can read letters from her, oh my, it brought so much tears to me. She's doing extremely great, and I'm just super happy that I'm able to give back. Not last year, the year before, the foundation did a back to school giveaway where I was trying to pay school fee, full book list, and send the kids back to school. I personally catered for over 300 to 500 kids because I thought I was doing a small back to school thing. When I tell you over 2,000 to 3,000 parents came out, the superintendent had to come out and help me because it was a roadblock. And so that kind of opened my eye and showed me how many mothers in Jamaica is in need of help. And so that's why I said this time, because of COVID, we wasn't able to do it last year. But when I do come back to do this giveaway, I want it to be grand, and I want to be able to cater for that 2,000 mothers who was in need, because I know that in Jamaica, mothers are struggling.
Wow. No, Spice, you have done so much and continue to grind hard and do more. Spice It Up Talk Show. See you conducting interviews with the likes of Bounty Killer, Wayne Marshall, Tammy Chin, and so many more. Having been on both sides, an interviewer and an interviewee, which do you prefer?
I would say interviewee.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that. I like interviewing the artists.
Mm-hmm.
And I like interviewing them because I feel like, because I've been interviewed so many times,
Mm-hmm.
I also know of questions that I've never heard people ask, like a Bounty Killer or
Yes.
other people. So I like that part of it. I like to be able to dare them to answer certain things. And
you see how your face light up?
funny. It's funny because one of my favorite moments was when I asked Bounty Killer, I said, Bounty Killer, tell me the truth. You ever cry over a girl? And he was like, I'm just a talk, man. Tell me the truth, man. You got one girl break your heart or something. But I just like the fact that I have a friendly relationship with them and I can't ask them anything, you know?
And that really helps. No, you were able to successfully bring your career, like I mentioned earlier, to the heights of dancehall single-handedly for the most part. What is the added ingredient mentorship from international superstar Shaggy brings to your career as you navigate your path and global success?
Shaggy's my hero.
Yes, I saw you post that.
Yeah, he's my hero. I feel like he has inspired me to start over like a brand new artist. He has motivated me in so many ways. He has shown me different aspects of the music industry that I have never seen. He has opened up to me in different ways. At one point in my career, I felt like I was angry over the fact that I didn't put out an album or I wasn't able to, and I was going back and forth with the record company, and I feel like I didn't want to hear nothing. I don't know what explanation they would have, you know, why it was taking so long to release a project. I felt like I was doing everything great. I felt like I was successful. I felt like I did this on my own for the past 10 years, and I didn't know why we couldn't see eye to eye. But after Shaggy stepped in and he kind of changed the dynamics, you know, it kind of showed me a different way how to look at things. And I'm kind of super happy now that, you know, the album is coming. It took a year to kind of negotiate back and forth and so, but I'm just super happy and super excited. But one thing about Shaggy that I can say is that I used to feel like I went through a lot in the music industry, but when he sat me down and explained certain things that he went through, I realized that I'm not different from anybody else or any artist. The only difference is that Shaggy deal with it like a man, and he probably don't make the public know, say, listen, I'm going through this, but I'm so opinionated and I just speak my mind. Everything I'm to me, go up on Instagram. Everything I'm to me, go up on Instagram and say, listen, this happened, you know, and people out there go through a lot of things. Artists go through things. I mean, Shaggy has opened up to me. He has went through a lot of things. He go through a lot of things as well. So it's just how you deal with the situation at the end of the day. And I've learned and I've grown, and I'm just super happy right now that the album is coming. Shaggy's the executive producer on the album. He's also my advisor. You know, certain decisions that I would make in the past, I'm not making them again. I used to have trust issues with people, so I couldn't find somebody that could come and advise me and I would take it because I have trust issues. But the fact that Shaggy has been to places where I dream to go, then he can lead me. I tell the people all the time, you can't come sell me a face product if your face full of bump and your face not spotless and smooth. I'm not going to listen to you, but I would listen to a Shaggy because such a legend is able to tell me, you know, and lead me on a road or on a path because he's been there before with his eyes closed. So I'm super happy and grateful right now for Shaggy's time because he has taken out so many time, you know, to into this project. I'm not hearing you.
Oh, sorry about that. 10 is slated for release July 30. I see the excitement all over your face. So how would you describe this, your debut album, for your fans?
Diversity. It's different. It's unique. They get a touch of every little thing. You know, they'll hear me singing. They're gonna hear me DJ. They're gonna hear reggae, dancehall. It's so unique and different that I'm super excited for the growth. I'm happy. They're gonna have fun. I know that we have been through a pandemic for the past year, almost 2 years now, but I know that when they hear this, it will bring so much joy and excitement to them. And I can't wait till July 30th for them to hear the project.
We can't wait either. No, your international hit Godongde has broken glass ceiling for lack of a bit for want of a better term. Internationally, with international press, etc. I mean, we see you taking over, you Shaggy and Sean Paul taking over international media prime slots, and also with Good Morning Britain this morning. How did the idea for the song come about, and also that kind of collaboration with S Cube, SSS?
SSS. I was the one to reach out to Shaggy, and I told him I want to do a song with you. And he was so open and receptive to it. He was like, yeah, man, Queen, you know, you can come to my studio in New York. Bought my ticket. I went to New York, and we were listening to a lot of songs. Like, he had, you know, a lot of rhythm projects and stuff like that. We play a whole heap of track, 10, 20. But when he played the Go Down There, he was already at the chorus, just muttering, go down there, why not? But I was saying, me this.
Eat that.
Eat this, I mean this. And he must say what? I said, this are me born right yourself. So of course, you know, I'm that person who likes to do song where you whine and gyrate and exciting songs and stuff like that, because that's the fan base I have. You don't care when nobody wants it. People love me for that and that burst of energy that I bring on stage. So I know that that was me. I might name that. So Shaggy was already on the chorus. I spit my verse on it. And I said to him, you know, who you'd feel if Sean Paul upon this? Because remember now, you know, I reached out to Shaggy to do a song. He was open and receptive. So why not shoot big? Because you know me love the extra. So why not push it?
Go for the stars.
Just go all the way and done. And when I said it, you know, Shaggy was receptive. And I said, you know, let's send it to Sean Paul. I sent it to Sean Paul and I said, Sean, you know, I have this song with me and Shaggy. I would have loved to have you on a verse. Sent it to Sean Paul, and within 24 hours, the next day, Sean Paul sent me back clean verse. I said, yes, Sean, hear what I hear. Because as an artist, when you hear a hit song, you can identify it. And I think that's what happened to Sean. It hooked him right there. So he sent back his verse within a day, and I was just super excited. And I'm just happy, big up Sean Paul and Shaggy, you know, to know that I'm able to bring these two legends together on one song.
Awesome. No, Spice, I don't know where the time went, but time go by quickly. In closing, Jamaica is filled with tons of raw talent. Any words of wisdom for budding entertainers who want to do it big like Spice?
Dream big, think big, you know, focus on your dream, never stop, never give up, believe in yourself, and don't listen to the noise and the critiques and the opinions of others. Once you keep focused, you know, just strive for your dreams and your goal, and just go at it and never give up. Just be consistent, because consistency is the key. If I had stopped years ago, I would not be where I am at today. So just be consistent and believe in yourself.
No, one final thing before you leave us. Of course, you know, today, July 1, the entertainment sector in Jamaica open up after we've been cooped up for over a year. So I want you know to introduce for me the song of the summer, the song where we are kick off the on-air party for the entertainment industry. So I want you to introduce Go Down There.
Right about now, we're on lockdown for a while, and it's time to go outside. And when we're outside, you have to get your mirror ready for that song. It's all about my big bad song called Go Down There. Wine and go all the way down there, enjoy yourself, gyrate your waist, and just have fun. Broke wine, right yourself.
Only for hot girl in the place.
Thank you so much. This has been absolutely awesome. Thank you and all the best. And it warms my heart to see you excel and do so grand and great on a global level. Keep it up and don't watch the noise.
Not at all. Thank you. Jamaica, big up on yourself. I love you. Right next up.
Thank you so much. Grace Latoya Hamilton.
Wine for your mix with a drip off of me body, yeah. Oh, you're full of chat and you can keep up with me energy. What a every night of it, embedded in your memory. Little bubble up and treat it like a felony.
What you gonna do when there is nobody that do it better than this reggae guy?
And the comments are coming in. This one says, big up to Spice. You know, you're a real woman, you know. That's why I love you.